So anyway, let's just say Andrea has two desktop computers that she has in her office, and one of them has a screen that I can see, and the other one has a screen that faces the back of the office in the back corner, and I can't see it, but I can tell that the screen is lit up all night and never turns off, which means that the screensaver doesn't pop on or anything, which means it's being used all night. Jack and I have never used Andrea's desktop computers. She doesn't have any other computers to my knowledge, so whatever's going on with that computer, it's staying open all night. And I heard her talking on the phone the other day about somebody having remote access to her computer, and I think she's probably falsely reporting me too. That's usually what these informants do. So I think that whatever she's doing, I can hear a really loud, sounds like a CD burner turning on, and I think she's got a big roll of blank CDs, ROMs. It's half empty, so whatever she's doing, her computer stays on all night, and the screensaver never pops on. And there's no way I can know there's no way I can tell or know what that computer's being used to do all night, except that I know my son and I have never used a computer in Andrea's house, so I'm scared of these types of situations when people do stuff like this to me and Jake. Like she had Avery say last night that I was acting strange and staring off into space. She heard me tearing to shreds after he said it too, and he apologized and stuff, and then Homeland Security, Federal Protective Police, they get SUVs too. All the cops get SUVs now. Well, I guess that's good for them. They got to go through the mud to catch a terrorist. I guess they ought to have an SUV to do it with. But anyway, I don't stay up all night using a computer. I never have. Judy Pavlicek used to do that. And then God knows what Andrea's doing. But I've never had contact with anybody, any police officer or anyone in an official capacity or unofficial capacity about supervision. Or any type of legal case or anything like that. That's something I've never done. And I don't make or receive phone calls from anyone in law enforcement. I don't give anybody permission to have contact with anyone regarding a case that involves me or my son. And I've never approved financial transactions or anything like that, other than financial transactions I personally make. So lots of strange stuff, like, when I told Andrea I had to work last week, she's like, oh, so you're going to work, really? Oh, okay. She's like, so work is a good thing? I was like, She's like, oh, okay, good. Like I had a choice not to go to work. Which it's not optional for me because I don't have any other financial resources. I paid Andrea exactly the way I was supposed to. And somebody, I don't know him, who's on the side of the sofa sets over there. He kept looking back over, turning, looking at me when he put a phone up to his ear when I turned on the street. He put the phone away. Just want to observe as a statement of fact. I'm not delusional. I might not always get it right when I'm sitting back trying to guess these stupid little schemes and games that I'm experiencing that my son and I are forced to endure on a daily basis. But it doesn't make me delusional, and I'm pretty sure whoever this cop is didn't want anybody to hear me and know what I have to say, because I'm not lying. And this entire case, whatever you want to call it, it's completely fabricated. And somebody's lining their pockets at my expense, at my son's expense. So there's no telling to what lengths they'll go to continue doing that and to prevent themselves from going to prison. But I know what I see Andrea doing, and the arrogance of it, to do stuff like that in the open and not care. You know, it's like I'm sweetie, and I get this sort of patronizing attitude, and it's just really bizarre fabrication. It's just really truly beyond what you would even begin to describe as a miscarriage of justice. So I'm not suicidal, I'm not depressed, I don't behave strangely, I am being audio monitored and surveilled without my consent. I think it's the same thing as we've gone through all along, using the neighbors and surveilling them while they're dealing drugs and using drugs, and saying that it's me and Jake, because of, you know, this vehicle, this big truck that pulls up next door. Like if I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, it'll zoom up next door and idle over there, and then somebody will get out and run into the neighbor's house and then run back out. No matter what time I wake up. And there were some girls. One of them was a girl that was a snitch on me, a student of mine that was in special ed, that was used as a decoy to lure me into pedophilia. I saw her and two other girls walk over to Andrea's vehicle one day and take a picture while I was sitting on the couch, which was really odd because they had their own yard. Why did they need to go stand by Andrea's vehicle? So you know, it's just, you know, that's what it is. The address that we live at is 4208 Riley Lane. The only time anyone has ever been in the house besides me, Jake, Avery, and Andrea has been on one single day. When Andrea's sister Cynthia came over, and she was in the house for maybe half an hour. Jacob was at school, so I've never had any contact with anybody else on Riley Lane except for the above described individuals, you know. So I'm not depressed and suicidal and gee, I can't overcome this. Yeah, I can, and I will. My son and I have so far, and we will continue to do so. So it's just basically, I think, the Shreveport Police Department and the Detectives Bureau that are putting me and my son through this. It's unconscionable to me. It's beyond words to describe the heinousness of it. Andrea does things like she started the washer this morning. And it was, what, 7:37. She offered Jake, she told Jake, you know, sweetie, don't you think you want some cereal or something? And she already knows Jake eats at school. And I told her, yeah, if we're running late, I'll just stop and buy him something to eat on the way. And I dropped Jake off at 8:05 at school. Anyway, it was just a little after 8 when I dropped Jake off at school. I drove him in this vehicle. It's Durango. It was only me taking the Durango. I've had other situations where snitches have tried to get me to give them my car keys. So